already dropped my mic. Things are already going wrong. Give me a second here. Is this thing on? Hello everybody, welcome to the show. I'm SM SithLord, and this is the twice a week build stream happening right here on these streaming channels. Welcome, thank you for joining me here. As today I'm going to be starting a new web world using the web world SDK. So the first thing I do is I go to my play canvas page, I click import project, I import the Somnium Space web worlds template. We're on v1.1, I think. Whatever the newest one is from the GitLab. Almost ready to go there. Jumping into the chats on my other screen. Periodically throughout the stream, I will be checking a couple of the chats like the Twitch and YouTube, but let's get back to clicking on this primary screen. Right now. Okay, this is going to be called Apartment World. Save, go into it into the editor, and we're going to be trying to port in an awesome baked model from Sketchfab. If you find a cool model on Sketchfab, you can get it in either FBX or GLB. The Play Canvas editor here supports both of those formats. And Sketchfab actually auto-converts models to GLB if they don't have either of those by default, which is nice. But you usually want to get the original format that the author uploaded. If possible, that's going to be the most optimized. So let me extract all. Here. And I'm going to upload first the FBX, and then I'm going to rebuild its materials in Play Canvas. That's the downside to using the FBX over the auto-converted GLB. The auto-converted GLB has the material already preset up into it. It's just sometimes it's not optimized because it had to auto-process it. And, like, it moves the origin of the doors so they don't rotate as cleanly sometimes. So if you're trying to get the artist's original vision, you got to go with the original format. Okay, let's add a new folder into here in the Asset Explorer. We'll call this one Materials, because now I'm going to put all these textures in there. What do these textures look like? Oh, they're so beautiful and baked. Now, I can easily replace these images with my own images because they're on an atlas like this. Oh man, I might do that if there's time at the end, and there should be if this goes smoothly. Okay, so while those are uploading, I'm going to clear out some stuff in the sample scene. So in the Web Worlds SDK, you get the sample scene where you can just right away click launch, and you get to walk around your world as this little dummy guy. I'm uploading right now, so it might take me a minute to load in. Hopefully my stream isn't interrupted. Okay, I won't test until after I finish uploading, because this is damaging my stream, isn't it? All these textures are pretty large. The whole model added up to be like 24 megabytes. Let's check them out real quick. This one is 2K. 2K, 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 2K. Everything's 2K. That's not so... Oh, this one's 4K. A 4K emissive texture. Hopefully I can avoid even needing that. This is mostly blink anyways. Another 4K normal map for the walls. That might be pretty important. Walls roughness. Okay, so now that these are all uploaded, my internet's fine again. When you click launch, you can run around your world as this little default avatar dummy. You can't do like a Ready Player Me or interact with the web browsers and stuff like that because this is just the sample test scene. This is the test scene. But all this stuff in here, I don't really need right now, so I'm going to remove it, most of it. And I'm going to keep less than I'm going to remove. So I want to keep the floor, so I'll just drag it out of the sample scene. The light. Do I need the light? I don't really need the light. I'll leave the light alone. The spawn point. And the rest of the stuff I'm just going to disable like that. Okay. Now, let's spawn this template in here. You can drag it into the scene or the hierarchy. I'm going to drag it into the hierarchy. Ooh, nice. Now, it looks pretty basic and we don't have any lights in here. I'm actually going to bring that light out here, just so we can see what we're doing until I have the bake going. That is nice. Imagine if this light was casting shadows too. Imagine? Why imagine? That's what it would be like if it was casting shadows. Neat. Okay, but I actually don't want to use real-time lighting if I can avoid it because it's way more performant, way more optimized to not use real-time lighting than it is to. It's going to run fine on like a gaming PC anyways, but if you want people to be able to run it on their phones, perhaps even their outdated phones, then you'll want to be what I call hyper-optimized. You want to be more than optimized. You want to be as optimized as possible because you never know what your guest's system specs will be on their device. Maybe they're on a really old phone. Maybe they have 30 tabs open or something like that. So, to be optimized, we want to try to bake the lighting. Let's start processing these materials in to see how baked we can get. There's a few materials being used. So it imported the materials, but not the textures. There is only a handful of materials. That's a really good sign. Here's one called details. Let's get the details in here. Details base color. There we go. Details normal. There we go. Details roughness. I don't know if that was the correct place to put that. Probably not. Or maybe it was. I'll have to check my notes. I probably should invert that or something. Anyways, what else do we have? Base color. Oh, this is the floor. So that's all that we have for the details. Let's see we got over here. We got the walls. Let's get the walls set up. Walls. Base color. Ooh, okay. This is a nice base color. It has lighting baked in. Very nice. Okay, so far only the walls are baked. Let's see if that trend continues. Here's one called living room. Here's living room base color. This is not baked lighting. Okay, but it's about to be, or is it about to be? Let's see. Living room. We have a normal map for it. Did I use walls normal? Oh no, I didn't. Let's use the normal map for the walls too. We didn't finish the walls after all. We got walls, normal, and also something to do with roughness. We'll have to adjust that later. Okay, now back to the living room. Walls. Oh, we already used it. This is living room normals and living room roughness. That probably needs to be inverted because it's making the opposite thing shiny than it should. So let me check my notes in a moment about that, because that's an easy thing to adjust at the end. What other materials do I have left to set up? We got the floor. Let's set up the floor. Okay. Got the floor base color. The floor base color doesn't have baked lighting. It does. So that means that we probably want to take the floor and not put it on diffuse, but put it on emissive. That way it looks perfect. And then we have floor normals. Floor normals looks really nice with lighting on, but without lighting, it's going to be way more performant. So I can always switch lighting back on at the end if I need it to pop. But most of these larger surface things, I'm going to start off with them being not real-time lighting. Anyways, what else do we have for the floor? For the floor, we have roughness, which I'll just drop into specular for now. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I need to click metallic. And then... No. I don't see roughness there either. I gotta check my notes to see what to do with roughness in the end. But let's put floor roughness into specular for now. Do I have anything else for the floor? No, that's it. Almost done with the materials. Kitchen. What do we have for the kitchen? Diffuse. Kitchen. Base color. Is this baked lighting? It is not. Cool. That means that for the kitchen we'll also have a bunch of important material layers like kitchen normal and kitchen roughness, which I'll drop into specular. Okay, wait a second. Kitchen has a metallic and a roughness. Probably need to rework that roughness, but there it is. And that's all the kitchen stuff. Okay, what else do we have left? The paintings is all. This is looking good. We're just going to use the paintings that are built in for now. From this atlas, even though I mentioned earlier that, hey, I could adjust this atlas. Okay, now my light. Let's adjust my light. I need my light to hit everything, so let's make it not a point light, not an omni light, but a directional light. There, now we're talking. Okay, and this is important because this light lights all these props and it lights avatars. I'm probably going to have two of these in the end, but here will be one, and I'm going to set it like this, like it's coming through the windows, which is good for our highlights. That way when our avatar is standing right here, he'll look like he's being lit from the correct direction. But we also want backlight. That way things don't look super dark from this other angle. So we need to make one more. Oh, first of all, this point light. We're going pretty optimized. So we're not casting a shadow. We are affecting dynamic, which will be the player walking around. I think the rest of our settings are good. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this point light. It's actually a directional light, but it's called point light in the hierarchy still. And then this will go like that. Oh, now we're getting it. And then this will go like that. Oh yeah. Okay, now hopefully when I play with the roughness, it fixes how our bed is too shiny and stuff like that. But other than that, this is looking really good. Let's reload the... I don't need to reload the test environment, but I already pressed the button. Oh, our spawn point is way out of position. So where is our spawn point at? It's over there. Let's move it in. Let's move it in right here. Oh, cool. All of these objects are individual objects, so I can move them around and delete them still. Although, because they're baked into the ground, they would leave behind that little trail. Okay, let's refresh. This time I'll spawn in the house, and we'll be well on our way. Yeah! Oh no, I fell off. I didn't make my floor. I'm just using an invisible floor. We will have to handle collisions. I'm thinking of just making an actual collision mesh in 3ds Max and importing it. But for now, I'm just doing these planar colliders. Good, good. The scale looks a little off. The scale makes me feel like I'm a little kid. So let's take it down to by 0.8. Sure. We'll take it down 2.8. How's that feel? That feels a lot nicer. I mean, it feels more realistic. It's a little more cramped now, but maybe I could go a little bit bigger. Yeah, I could go a little bit bigger. Let's go with 0.9 here. I still feel a little short, but I think that's okay. Excuse me. Maybe I'll go 8.5. Something in between there. Oh, I can't do 8.5. I can't. I either got to do 9 or 8. I'll go with 9. Okay, looking good. I need to get colliders to be able to walk up there, and I want to fix my roughness. Let me check my notes and see how I'm supposed to deal with the roughness layer when translating it to the PBR that's in Play Canvas here. My notes are on a different computer, so that's why it looks like I'm just standing there. Invert the roughness map before importing into Play Canvas, are what my notes say. Thank you, Sensei. So let's do that. Let's invert the normals or the roughness. We're going to start with the couches. So what was that? That was living room, because that was way wrong. Image invert. It's negative. Negative. Where are you at? We're going to enhance you, or how do we? This is an effect. I know it's on here. I'm just not seeing it. What do we have? So colors, effects. No invert. Okay, sharpen, title, replace, color. Negative. Invert image. All channels. There we go. File, save as. Original folder. Okay, I'm going to call it the same thing, but I'm going to make a backup copy of the original so I don't completely overwrite it. Okay, excuse the internet while I upload this updated version of my roughness. Living room roughness. It's going to automatically update in the world and the scene, and bam! Did it happen yet? I don't know if it happened yet. So bam! It finished uploading. The couch looks good. So I don't know, maybe that was it. Here, let's do the same thing to details and see how that works out. That table has those weird lines on it. I wonder what that's about. We'll see. Okay. Oh, maybe I'm about to fix it right now. Let's open up details, roughness. We're going to invert this thing and then save as original folder. Upload this into here. And now the rug should stop being so shiny. Perfect. It's... Oh, wait, what just happened? Oh, the rug came back a little shiny. I think it's working. I think it's supposed to be a little shiny. Good. Living room. Living room looks too shiny. Maybe it doesn't look too shiny. Yeah, those look pretty good. Okay, let's keep doing that. Do we have any other roughnesses? Details roughness we handled. Floor roughness, let's do that one. Not too much is going to change with the floor roughness. It ended up looking nearly the same. My highlights are pretty heavy. I'll have to think about fixing that. How would I go about fixing that? Well, I think I would mess with my specular to do that. Yeah. Okay, I have a doubt. Okay, living room roughness. Let's try messing with these materials a little bit. Living room roughness. I think I had it right the first time. That looks better. It's just too bright. Okay, pushing forward. Did I do all the materials? I believe that I did. The details, is that what I was tinkering with right now? No, it's not. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. I'm seeing these bright edges on the chairs, though. Let's see if I can do anything about that. Okay, this is good. Let's get some collisions in here so I can actually walk up there. And in fact, I want to test what it's like up there before I can teleport, before I do the whole collision mesh. So let's just duplicate this thing and throw it up there. And then quickly just duplicate it again and make a ramp for me to walk up. Like that. That's not right. Okay, up here is looking good too. So let's do the colliders and then replace the images, and then we'll be near the wrap. I am going to make the colliders in, I could do 3ds Max, or I can just make them out of primitives. I think I'm going to opt to just make these out of primitives, like last stream. It should be real easy. So I don't need a renderer for this, but we are going to have lots and lots of colliders. Box collider for the floor, check. Box collider for the upper floor. Check. I could use the visual model for the collider, but that's not optimized, so I'm going to go with just the box colliders. Big old box collider for this left wall. And the same goes for this right wall. And then a big box collider. Another one's coming up, but this one's too tall. It was taller than it needed to be. Check my messages real quick. Oh, let me catch up on my other chats too. Okay, we're all caught up. Hello, Rytoon. Thank you for joining the stream. Okay, building the collision mesh here. Where did I leave off? We have upstairs. Oh yeah, I was working on this wall right there. It's looking good. Now we need another wall similar to that over here. This one can be skinnier. Then a big wall over here. And I need one more wall right here. Then I think it's just going to be about putting little boxes around the furniture, where using box colliders is really going to benefit over using the visual mesh as the colliders, because the visual mesh is heavy. It has lots of vertices and stuff, while the boxes that I put on this will not be heavy. Now I have to decide, do I want people to not be able to walk through this guardrail? I'm going to have to decide stuff like that. But before I do that, let's just... Oh, I don't have a ramp for the stairs yet. That's furniture, but the walls, I'm just testing the actual exterior walls. Uh-oh, did I put one over here? I don't think that I did. Yeah, I forgot to put one on the other side. Oh, let me go over here. Okay, almost done with the colliders here. We're going to get back to the colliders after I check a couple more messages here. Okay, all right, back to making colliders. Now that I have that final back wall into there, I just need to worry about the furniture and the stairs. Let's start with the stairs, then the rails, then we'll do the kitchen, and then stuff like the couches and stuff. Yeah, sounds good to me. Should have named these coal, not floor, but whatever, I'm already here. Okay, that looks good for the rails. Now let's do the stairs to get me up there. For the stairs, I'm just going to do a ramp. That should do it. Maybe right on up there. I can't go through the rails anymore. Looking good. I need a rail on the ramp. That should do nicely. Now I can't walk through the rail while I'm on the stairs. Okay, the rails are done, the floors are done, the stairs are done. Now it's time for the kitchen. We'll start with this back thing here. The kitchen's going to be a few different pieces, actually, so we'll start with this one right here. Okay, and then this one right here will make more accurately match. And one right here. Okay. Here's the table. I don't want people to get too caught up on like the chairs, clipping the chairs with their shoulders or their legs as they walk by. So I'm not going to make the chairs fully collidable, only a little collidable. But you got to be able to climb up on the table if you want to. I'm also not going to make those vases collidable. Your feet will go right through those vases. Looking good. I could move that wall out a little bit more. That's better. When you can teleport, which is kind of like jumping, you'll be able to get up on top of the table and on top of the bar, on top of the trash can. You can stand over here. If you can just stand at the lip because you don't want to bump your head over there. But hey, everything's looking good. Everything's coming together. Now the scale. I'm happy with the scale because of where the bar comes up to on my character. It's a good compromise. But you can tell by the size of the door, I've scaled it down because the door is a little short. But if I scaled it back up, then I'm going to feel like a little kid standing at the bar. So I'm just going to ignore the little doors. I mean, I'm a tall dude, we'll say. Anybody that joins this world, they're tall people. They got a duck to go underneath. Door jams. Yeah. All right, we got the kitchen, we got the chairs, or we got the table all set up. Let's do the living room here. I'm just trying to think how hardcore I want to go with the colliders on that middle part. And over there I could do a little collider, and I think that's it. Oh, then there's the upstairs furniture, but let's get going with this stuff. Put it right there so you could stand on the couch still, like Rick James. Good. Okay, I think that's it for downstairs. Upstairs, I only have the bed and this thing over here to collide against. All right, there we go. Now the question is, do I want to replace the images in here? I could easily do so, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I would just replace them with my own random selection of images. And I don't have too much time during the stream right now to browse through everything and find images that I like. So let's try tweaking the environment a little bit more. Then I could think about compressing the environment. Over here, I have a floor that has lighting disabled. If I enable lighting, it makes it really shiny and impressive looking, but that makes it not as mobile friendly. So I think I want to disable that. I want to disable use lighting. And then on lots of these objects, I'm going to want to disable cast shadows and all that. Here's all the objects that are walls, I think. None of those are supposed to cast shadows, I don't think. Wait, nothing casts shadows. Okay, but these don't even use lighting. So let's say we don't receive shadows, we don't cast shadows, we don't receive shadows, none of that. Okay, that's going to make all those objects more optimized. What else do we have in here? We have some cubes and stuff after that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this thing and hide objects as I process them. So here we have a bunch of furniture. Did furniture, was it fully lit? I don't think that it was. Nothing else was fully lit. So everything else needs to receive lighting. So I think we're good. Only the shell, the walls, the floor, and all that are going to be baked lighting in this scene. Everything else is going to be dynamic lighting. And because of the 2 directional lights that I have set up, things should work pretty well. Now I'm just thinking maybe I should assign an HDR image to this. HDR image. I could, and it would be pretty awesome if I did, and I think it would happen automatically. Let's see. Let's go over to the skybox generator. Modern apartment. Let's see what it generates. So instead of the specular highlights just being the light sources like they are now, which looks a little weird, if you have a HDR image or an environment map for these reflections to use, they can look a lot cooler. Now, it would be overkill to even include that in here because this thing is, I don't need an outside because of those windows. But let me see here. What if I select those windows? I could remove those windows or make them glass and put an actual skybox out there, which I might end up doing. If I did that, these would need to be glass. Oops, glass. I think this will do for my reflections. Download that huge res file. Then I'm going to go over to HDR. Is that it? Yeah. This thing does not support GIF, which that site downloads it now. So I need to open this thing in IR frame view. Which also apparently does not support GIFs. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're going to save this as a PNG. Okay, and we're going to turn this into a cube map so I can use it as a regular reflection thing. Okay, wait a second. This is the interior, and this would work good for the lighting purposes, but outside of that window, I would have to put something else. So, I'm going to do a couple things here. This will be one. Where's the TV at in this modern house? There's no TV? For real? I guess just looking away from the couch is forward. Now, the other skybox I want to generate will be the exterior thing, and this will be a modern city at daytime. Modern city at daytime. And we'll go with realistic. Let's see how it goes. Let me check my messages here, then I'll get back to processing this interior reflection map and see if I want to use it or not. Would that look cool outside that window? It might. I'll take it. See how that looks. And for my final step of processing, I am going to have to open up and do some weird stuff in this Photoshop looking app. We're getting there though. We are making some kind of progress here. Let me think. Okay, this sky sphere, I could probably, I don't need the whole skybox, right? Let's try this interior one. So before I worry about the glass stuff, let's try this interior skybox. Ooh, where did I save this file at? This thing. I need to find this thing. It's called template. HDR template. Desktop. I have to find where I saved this template to. Maybe I saved it over here. I probably saved it inside one of these folders. There we go. I was hoping it would reference it in there. It's in, well, that's a weird place. It's in my material library. I guess it's not that weird. Whew, all right. That saved me, thank you. Now I need to go to Jedi Archives, material library, and the sky boxes. And there is my template. Perfect. Now I can finish processing my internal skybox. There they are. And I know this guy needs to be rotated some. And this guy as well. And some of the others will have to be rotated as well, but I won't know exactly how to rotate them until after we move this in. After, I'm chewing up some time here trying to play around with the reflections and stuff. After this, I just have to optimize and then upload to assign it to a parcel. Will be coming up in a moment, but I do have time. I have a little bit of time here to try around with this stuff. Bottom needs to be rotated. Okay, with that, I have a pretty decent cube map. Now to assign it to the materials here. Oh, it takes a sphere map. I could have given it a sphere map the whole time. Oh, how do I make a sphere map? Maybe I should just do that. I already made the cube map, so I'll just use the cube map. Okay, now did that do anything at all? Not unless I tell it to make things reflective, and it looks super messed up. Not too many reflective things in here. The floor looks pretty good with it. Maybe the floor is the only one I'll put it on. Nah, we don't need this. And it'd be a huge cube map just put on the floor. Nuh-uh. We're getting rid of this. But the other one for the outside we'll probably still want. So over here, I got the other one, and I do need to process this one because this is the actual skybox. I can't use a sphere for this one. I don't really need this one either, but it's just to look impressive outside the window. But that's what skyboxes are for. So this might be worth it. The last one was not worth it, it turns out. Isn't that sad? But it's okay, it didn't take too long to experiment with it. Cool, we should all be good now. Okay. Nice! Pre-filtered cube maps made this really light up. Some nice looking lighting. Let's refresh that to make sure we got the newest version. Okay, so the cube map, when I clicked pre-process, it uses it for like HDRI lighting, and that's why it made all the colors kind of pop with the colors of the environment. What environment? Well, my friends, it will soon to be this environment that I need to mess with this material a little bit more to make my point. Opacity alpha. Yeah. And then let's make this a little blue. And more reflective. Not too reflective. Okay, let's rotate this skybox some if at all possible. Sometimes rotating the skybox is not such a good idea. It confuses the engine sometimes, but we're looking pretty good here. Can't I see any nice specular highlights on this thing like I wanna? I don't even need this glass. It'll look better without it, and it will render better. Okay, I think we are done making this kick butt environment. time to do a couple things. Let's make a few different spawn points so people don't spawn on top of each other if multiple people join. So I'm facing forward from this spawn point with the camera facing me. Okay. What if I wanted to make more? No problem. First of all, I can make a couple more here and here. That's good. I can make one over here. That's good. There. One upstairs. It's okay if they're all facing the same direction. I could make these face particular directions too. So right here, the guy's going to spawn facing the camera's going to be looking this way, and then when you start walking around, you'll be facing this way. That works, and I got a bunch of spawn points in here. The way that Somnium Web works is it's going to randomly choose one of the spawn points to put the player at when they join. But I think that this is concludes what we need to do before we publish this thing to a parcel, so let's do it. Do it! Don't talk about it! Do it! Do it by going to github.com. Last session, I started setting up a master repo. Instead of making a new repo for each of my web worlds, I'm going to have one repo with subfolders. Until I clean up the repo, there's a bunch of junk in the root directory still. But I do have subfolders, and I got to make a new folder. Don't talk about it. Do it. Before I make the subfolder, let's talk about it some. I need to download this, optimize it, and do this kind of stuff. Now, I didn't go through my scene and mark a bunch of stuff as static, and that's good because this build, unlike some of the builds I've made in the past that were hyper optimized, this one's midway optimized. The environment as far as the walls and the floors, those big surfaces, they are light mapped to give a good shading effect. But the other stuff is not light mapped, it's real-time lit with 2 directional lightings, foreground and background. I mean, you could go to the 3 lighting setup, but the more lights that you add, the more performance impact they're going to have. Neither of those lights have shadows, so there's no shadows happening, which is a good thing. There's clustered lighting in the engine, the Play Canvas engine here, so 2 lights is actually going to run really well, even on mobile. That's the hope. So I downloaded my thing. I have to unzip my thing before I upload it. And I'm going to name the folder what I want it to be in my repo, in this case. So I'm going to call it apartment. All right, now I'm going to say add file, upload files, upload this whole folder. It's going to create that apartment folder and put all the stuff in it for me. Wonderful. So I just sit here and twiddle my fingers for a moment. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, let me refresh this. And I'm going to have to build this again. I did not compress any of these textures. Let's do that. Let's not skip that step. Yeah. So this is super important because I used high-resolution PNGs. And if you use high-resolution PNGs or PNGs at all, you need to compress them using basis compression, preferably. You don't need to, but preferably you want to because PNG is potentially a lossless format. So they're really, really big files. You can upload PNGs to the project and then use basis compression, and that's the best of both worlds because you have the source PNG high quality stored still in the project, but what's served to the people that actually join the scene is the basis compressed stuff. So you upload high quality stuff, you don't have to do any lossy compression on the assets before you upload them, then you compress in the editor. If you're not going to use basis compression, you should at least upload already compressed JPGs as your textures. That way they're compressed still, even though you're not using the basis compression. But why not use basis compression like we're going to do right now? There are reasons. There is a quality hit when you do basis compression, but that's neither here nor there. Let me check to make sure my walls are in fact using walls base color. They are, even though the scene doesn't realize it. So I'm selecting every single one of my textures here, and I'm choosing basis compression, compress. Now, there was a 4K texture in this project, and it ended up that there was a couple of them, actually, but I ended up not using the emission texture from any of these materials. So after it's done basis compressing, I should have done this before I started basis compressing, but after it's done basis compressing, I'm going to go through here and remove the emission textures that I didn't need. So you see that it compressed this particular texture. Is that this particular texture or is that all textures? Let me wait for it to finish some more stuff before I talk about the difference between this first number for the size of the file transfer and this second number that has to do with how much memory that texture is going to take in VRAM. This second number, the first number is important because you want to have a really small download size for people on mobile or just in general. But this second number is killer because if you exceed the amount of VRAM that the person has that's viewing your scene, it's going to not work. You can't exceed the RAM. You can't download more VRAM. So you have to be really conservative with how much VRAM you consume. I'm consuming, it's going to be a lot of VRAM when all these textures are loaded in. The reason why I'm consuming a lot of VRAM is because of the resolution of the textures. You see, it's under 7 megabytes download for all these textures, but after they're loaded into VRAM, it's going to be 50. However, it's going to be a little bit less than that. Well, I don't know, maybe about that. It's still working on processing a couple of these. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete walls emissive. And I think that's the only one that I can remove. That's a 4K texture though. The thing is, walls, this is a 4K texture. The walls, this one right here. That's 4K and it's a really important texture. What I might be able to do is get rid of the normal map on them because the normal map, I'm not using lighting because it's fully lit. And if you're not using lighting at all, you literally have lighting disabled on something, the normal map is actually not used because everything's baked. It's just static. Those pixels are those pixels. It doesn't dynamically respond to light. So, and that's what normal maps do, lights and reflections. So I'm going to remove a 4K, I'm going to remove 2 4K textures. And I'll think real hard whether I can remove the roughness map also. That one might have an impact. I don't know, maybe not. So, first of all, I could remove this emissive because it's not used at all. That's the only one that's like that. It's not used at all. Then I can look at the walls material and consider turning off the normal map. So when I remove the normal map, let's see if I notice any difference anywhere in the scene here. I noticed no difference. So, normal map, gone. Awesome, that's another 4K texture. Now, we gotta see if the roughness map did anything. It might have, but it might have not, because we aren't being real-time lit. So if I remove roughness, do I see any change? I do not. That's another 4K texture out of here. This is wonderful. Now, I went from 3 4K textures being used for the baked part of this environment to 1 4K texture being used. That's as optimized as I want to get. I could go in there and make it even more optimized. And I probably should if I'm targeting mobile, but I'm not fully targeting mobile here. I'm targeting somewhere in between. I'm targeting good mobile, people on good phones who can support at least 1 4K texture. Because if I take the walls down from 4K to 2K, it'll be a little noticeable. They're already a little noticeable with the 4K compression, but that's okay. The cool thing about basis compression is not only does it lower this first number of the file size, basis compression also lowers the second number of how much VRAM a texture uses. Really, it does. It's not just about transfer size with basis compression, so it's good to use basis compression whenever you can. The living room normals, I think I need the normals on everything else, but those weren't 4K textures, they were 2K max, so we're going for that mid optimization zone. I think we're good. We got an awesome view outside that window. That's the only modification I did to the model is I hid the window panels, and so you can see the skybox. But we're good here now. Thank you. How are you? Let's go ahead and download this thing. Okay, we're basis compressed here. I did not basis compress the skybox. Let's do that. This is gonna make the skybox crunchy. I'm not gonna lie. It's lossy compression. the original format is retained in the project, so you can always uncompress it, which is nice. So it's not like you compress it and then you can't go back. But it is going to make the pixels a little more visible in there. Let's launch in and see how it looks. If it's too bad, we could always undo it. It's good. I'm gonna roll with that. Yep. There are other optimizations that you can do when you can't see the entire skybox like this, because you notice that I can only see the front, left, right, up, down, but I can't see the back. It's not much of an optimization, but you could make that one surface of the skybox, the one that's always behind you, just a solid color. That's going to make it smaller transfer size, and I think potentially smaller on VRAM also. It has to be the same resolution though. In other engines, sometimes you can do a trick where you do really low resolution on one of the sides, but in this engine, they should all be the same size. Okay, let's do this build. Everything looks good. Build. Select all. Optimize scene format. Download. Okay. Now I'm ready to upload. I canceled that other transfer that I had going because I realized that I needed to do another build. Now I've done that other build. I should have a new folder here. There we go. But I need to rename this folder just like I did the other one. I'm going to rename it the same thing as that other one. Apartments. And upload it. So this is going to create that apartment subfolder. I made one repo. Now you can upload and host your web worlds anywhere you want, your own web space, your friend's web space, or GitHub's GitHub Pages. And GitHub Pages is free, so if you don't have your own web space and you don't have friends that have their web space, you can use GitHub Pages. It's actually really good hosting. You create a free GitHub account, create a repo, upload your files like I'm doing right now. There's one or two more steps about setting up a .NoJekyll file, which are outlined on the documentation for web worlds, like the getting started documentation on the GitLab. But after that, you can host as many web worlds as you would like, as long as they're not huge files. GitHub doesn't like hosting huge files, but that's not a problem for us because we're not going to be hosting huge files. We're only going to be hosting small files because we're optimized. Always be optimized if you can. Okay, committed my changes, and then I wait, and I figure out a parcel to put this on. For that part, I'm going to have to launch up Somnium and check which parcels I've rented that I could assign this to, because I don't want to overwrite something that I made just recently. Okay, as far as the GitHub, like uploading my web world, it's done, but because I'm using GitHub, there's some cloud functioning, cloud processes, cloud actions that I have to wait for. I see right here, I'm waiting for it to build the pages and deploy it to the accessible web space stuff. So in a few moments, I'll be able to access this thing. But after I do access it, oh, I'm going to update my PC client here. After I do access it, I'm going to have to assign it to a parcel, and that's what I'm looking for right now. There's my actions. It's waiting to deploy. In progress deploying. It's active. Okay, now if I access it directly at my GitHub Pages account, it loads it right up here. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need to go to webworld/apartment. Oop, not apartmenty. Here it is, apartment world. And this is going to look exactly like it did while I was testing. Nice. Because it is literally the test scene. But after I assign it to a parcel, then it's going to start looking like you can chill out in here and video chat, audio chat, /dance, that kind of stuff. It would have been nice to drop some background music into here. I also forgot to add an attract mode camera. Oh man. I'm gonna have to do one more build. At least for the attract mode camera. So to control where the camera spawns when people load in before they click anything, you position something like this. And you could even adjust the FOV. There we go. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. So let's main scene, and I gotta re-upload this thing all over again. It's okay. Just for that one little change. It would have been nice to add some background music in there, but I don't think I have time to find some good background music to put in there right now. So now I want to upload into the apartments folder the new build that I just did, while on my other screen I'm finding a parcel to put it on. This is parcel 13. I think I put something on parcel 13 yesterday. Yeah, how about 119? Is some sort of Christmas house. I didn't build this, so I'm not exactly sure whose parcel that is. I'm afraid to overwrite it. Here's 158. Okay, let's put it on 158. We're not going to replace what's in the open world here because I'm assigning this as a holistic web world. It's only going to replace what you see when you go to the parcel in Somnium Web. Now, if I assigned it as an augment web world instead, it would actually merge this build with the play canvas scene. It's not what I want though. I don't want this to be inside of my apartment. I just want my apartment when I visit it in web. And that's what I'm going to do on parcel 158. I have to wait for GitHub pages to redeploy. When it does, I'm going to be putting this URL on somniumspace.com. Awesome! Look at that loading screen. Oh no, I already have something on 158, and this is a cool one. Okay, so I'm not going to replace this one. This could use an attract camera. I should come back and add an attract camera to this one. Okay, but if I'm not using 158, what number am I using? How about 328? No, not 328. People still might be using that one. How about 359? Ah, yes, let's put it on 359 if that's available. No, this one has a web world also. Let's see here. How about 434? Let's put it on 434, which is an empty parcel right now. 434. Check out this apartment, by the way. You can check this one out by going to 359. This is a pretty nice apartment. You can walk on water like you're special. The AO is a bit much here. The bloom is a bit much here, but I'll roll with it. There's even an upstairs. Okay, anyways, I was going to, I forgot the number now. It was 4. 34? Yeah, 434. $434 has something on it. Okay, how about 565? No. How about 633? 633, tell me. I think I do have something with 633 already. Parcel number 633. I must have typed in the number wrong. No. That's weird. 633, what about 521? 521, no, can't use 521. 974. That's Temple Doge. Can't use that one. Oh, excuse me while I find something, a parcel to put this on. 1018. Let's see if I have anything on 1018. I might. Okay, let's try the next one. 1761. I wonder what I have on there. Let's find out. This is an awesome world right here. 3450. 1761. This is the build that I made the other day. This one I wouldn't feel so bad about replacing, but I'll leave it for now. Let's try 2485. This is the one. This is the one, baby. I have a good feeling about this. And we're going to go into... Okay, so I have... Let me make sure that the pages were rebuilt. They were. I have this URL that accesses the web world on my GitHub. I need to assign this URL to my parcel. Here's how you do it. You go to the parcel, you log in. This is a pretty cool parcel. I'm going to replace it though with more options. No. You go to adjust parcel settings. Web world, I got a holistic. I want it to replace what's on there. Paste in the URL and I click save and reload. I don't need to mess with anything else because they don't really impact web worlds. So while this loads in the web world there, it takes a little while to load in that last file, it looks like. Hopefully it all goes smooth. This might be indicating a bug with my build if it doesn't all load in smooth. Sometimes that happens if there's a weird thing in the file name. I'll have to check that out. But one thing I'm going to try to do here is rename my parcel. Is there a way to rename my parcel here? I don't think so. So I'll leave the parcel name as it is. Why is this not loading? Oh no, let's refresh, try it again. This file, assets, cube dot. Yeah, it doesn't like the file name of something. Cube 021. I am going to have to do another build to fix this. Okay, it didn't like the file name, and sometimes the file names get weird. It was the animation. There's no reason for this animation to even be in there. Yeah, so let me. Oh, it's that pipe. See that weird character right there? That's what's confused it. However, this animation is not even used, so I'm going to remove this animation. Should have removed it in the first place. That's what I get for leaving files in there that shouldn't be in there. Everything else looks good, so we're going to rebuild this one final time. Don't use special characters in your names. Don't use any weird characters in your names if you want the most widespread compatibility. Alright, now ready to upload into Apartment. For the final time, third time's a charm, this build. And then the final step will be waiting for the cloud processing to occur. But besides that, I should be good. So I've committed my changes, but I have to wait for the cloud processing to occur. I think I'm done here. I don't think I can rename the parcel from here. So I'll close out of that. And all I'm waiting for is my actions to occur. We'll have to push this build pages in deployment here. To become a builder, the first thing you need is a reason to build. Now you can jump into the PC builder, the thing I just closed, and you could start making stuff on the, first of all, welcome to the show, by the way. You can start making stuff on the test parcels. The thing is, the test parcels, while you can export them as GLB, you can't invite people over to visit the test parcels. They're kind of just to test out on. In order to build something that people can actually come visit, you need to either have your own parcel or be rented a parcel to build on. And you have to build your stuff right on that parcel, unless you're doing like GLB import or something with the web worlds. But that's the first step. Make a connection with somebody in the community and get some land to build on. After you have that, then you're ready to build. And you have to then decide if you want to use the easy mode builder or if you want to use the web worlds like I did today, which are a little bit more difficult to use. I am all updated, but it's cached, so I just clicked that button to clear my cache, and it should load me in here. Yep. And there's the camera that I added. Everything's working wonderfully. Ooh, Bloom kicked in. Nice. How about AO? I wonder how AO will look in here. The AO is a bit heavy. I usually love heavy AO, but this scene looked so good without the heavy AO that I'm actually going to turn off the AO. I do like the bloom. And I think I'll keep the dark edging around the sides. Okay, good. Okay, so oh, let me take a new screenshot. I'll take a new screenshot to post as the loading kind of screen. And with that, I am going to GG on the stream. I am going to be hanging out in this parcel for a few more minutes as I pose for some screenshots. What good is a build without some good screenshots to go along with it? Or maybe I'll record a little flyer through video. That might be neat. I usually don't, but it could be neat. If I were to record a little fly-through video, I don't know, the still images might be more effective. Yeah, I'll probably do still images. So I'll pose some people around here, take some still image screenshots, and post them to Twitter, my Twitter, if anybody's interested in checking it out without actually jumping in. But you can come visit this world right now. Where is it at? Well, it is right there, somniumspace.com/parcel/2485, and you'll pop in at one of these spawn points. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I did use about the whole 2 hours to do this build. However, most of that time I spent optimizing things and getting some good, nice optimized colliders in here. Both of those are optional, although you should usually optimize. You'll probably have to do those steps, even if you grab a model off of Sketchfab. If you're trying to be hyper optimized, you're going to have to. Like, what did I do? I used basis compression on all the textures. I eliminated a couple 4K texture layers that weren't used, like the normal map and the roughness map on the fully lit walls. And I didn't downsize any textures in this build, but usually I do. I also usually go in and take everything down to like 512 instead of being 2K textures. This one does use 2K textures though, so it's kind of in between of hyper optimized and not so optimized. But that is the build for today. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you. What is today? Today's Friday. Everybody have a nice weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Later on.